The chapter begins with Luffy holding Admiral Kizaru in his grasp. Around them, everyone watches in awe. Usopp's expression is one of shock. Luffy, wearing a confident smile, addresses Kizaru, who, despite his struggles, quips, "Well, this is a pickle." Luffy then starts spinning, whirling Kizaru around. Kizaru, somewhat amused, asks Luffy to be gentle. However, Luffy, with a sigh of determination, throws him with all his might, sending Kizaru hurtling through the air. Luffy, now airborne, laughs triumphantly and declares that with Kizaru sent flying, they should use this chance to escape. Usopp, quick to strategize, suggests they leave Kizaru to Luffy. The scene shifts to Chopper, who turns to Atlas and inquires about her next move. Atlas responds with urgency, revealing her plan to go to the lower stratum to override the pacifistas' current objectives. She emphasizes the dire need for this action, as failure would result in them all being targeted by the pacifistas' lasers once the barrier drops. Dr. Vegapunk, understanding the gravity of the situation, acknowledges that whoever controls the pacifistas will likely win the fight. He notes that no one on the island possesses a higher command authority than the Vegapunks, hinting at the crucial role they will play in the unfolding events. Suddenly, Dr. Vegapunk interjects, telling Atlas to wait because he plans to accompany her. Usopp, alarmed, shouts out, questioning how Vegapunk could even consider going with them. He stresses that their main objective is to keep Vegapunk safe. Just as Vegapunk is about to explain, they are interrupted by a call from Franky. Before Franky can speak, Vegapunk, seeming to anticipate the news, asks if it's true that Bonnie was knocked down to the lower stratum. Franky confirms her survival, adding, "That's great, but Kizaru kicked her face first into the barrier and—" He's cut off mid-sentence as Dr. Vegapunk interjects, expressing his disbelief that Franky, a strapping young lad, let this happen to Bonnie. Franky admits his mistake and quickly offers to go to Bonnie's aid, but points out that the barrier is still up. At that moment, Sanji joins the call, eager to participate in the rescue mission for Bonnie. He informs Dr. Vegapunk that he has everything Vegapunk requested aboard. Jinbei, not wanting to waste a moment, announces that he will head to the back exit, urging everyone to rendezvous there. The scene shifts to the Fabricostratum down below. Here, an anxious soldier warns all others to stay away from the city center, as Jewelry Bonnie is believed to be nearby. He cautions them to remain vigilant, suggesting that Bonnie might still be hiding somewhere. He emphasizes the danger, reminding them that Bonnie can manipulate their ages, turning them into children or aging them prematurely. However, his warning comes too late. The area is filled with soldiers who have already fallen victim to Bonnie's powers. Some have been transformed into children, while others have aged significantly. In the midst of this chaos, we find Bonnie herself, stealthily hidden behind a rock. Nearby lies Sentomaru, defeated and lying on the ground. A Navy soldier announces over the radio that they have found Sentomaru and that he has been defeated. This news seems to concern Bonnie as well, indicating a possible connection or concern on her part for Sentomaru. As Bonnie crouches behind the rock, her thoughts linger on Sentomaru and the severity of his defeat. Despite her own pain, she's preoccupied with the situation. Suddenly, to her surprise, Sentomaru stands up. He urgently advises Bonnie to flee because the Marines are approaching. Bonnie, still concealed behind the rock, is conflicted. She ponders her next move, considering whether it's possible to remain hidden until the situation cools down. The scene swiftly transitions back to the Labostratum. Luffy laughs heartily, remarking to Zoro about the intense battle unfolding below. He then asks Zoro if he needs assistance. Zoro, locked in combat with Lucci, replies that Luffy should concentrate on Kizaru. Zoro and Lucci exchange fierce glances, their swords clashing with relentless energy. Gaining the upper hand, Zoro pushes Lucci back, taunting him about his inability to match their captain's strength. Lucci, unfazed, retorts that capturing the second-in-command of an emperor is still a worthy achievement. Meanwhile, Kizaru, who had been sent flying by Luffy, narrowly avoids falling into the ocean. He quickly regains his composure and launches a barrage of light bullets at Luffy at an incredible speed. The bullets, initially small, transform into clones of Kizaru as they approach Luffy, each clone brandishing a sword of light. Luffy, dodging the attack, creates a massive whip that destroys several clones. However, realizing they are mere illusions, he retreats, unable to locate the real Kizaru. Suddenly, the genuine Kizaru reappears, catching Luffy off guard. Meanwhile, Kizaru captures Usopp. Recalling Usopp's last battle, Kizaru hesitates, aware of Usopp's strength. However, Usopp decides to spare Kizaru this time. Kizaru comments on the odd absence of Vegapunk, causing Luffy to worry about the potential danger to Usopp. Simultaneously, Sanji leaps onto Vegatank 8, where Vegapunk, Atlas, and he have gathered. Vegapunk, determined and resolute, declares that they must rescue Bonnie, refusing to stand by while a young girl faces danger. The scene ends with a sense of urgency and a commitment to save Bonnie, highlighting the character's resolve and bravery. The scene shifts back to Luffy, who is visibly shocked. He yells out a warning to Apple Gramps, cautioning against descending lower as it could be lethal. The focus then moves to Kizaru, who has Vegatank 8 in his sights. He questions Vegapunk's destination and prepares to unleash a new laser attack. As Kizaru shouts, "Laser!" Luffy heroically intervenes, placing himself between the laser and Vegatank 8. Luffy astonishingly absorbs all the laser beams shot by Kizaru, feeling the intense heat. In this moment of chaos, light bursts in all directions around him. Simultaneously, Franky joins Vegatank 8, urging others to use General Franky to get the ship to safety. The scene then cuts to the Egghead port, where a Navy soldier announces an urgent update. Dr. Vegapunk is attempting to leave the Labo stratum and head downward. Chopper suggests they should stand by to deactivate the Frontier Dome, allowing them to reseal it quickly once they've left. Meanwhile, Vegatank 8 is airborne, and suddenly the commands of the pacifistas change. An override command from Vegapunk is heard, directing all pacifista units to eradicate every last Marine on the island. As this new directive is broadcasted, Apsailfats hears the news, and a sense of anger fills Saint Saturn, angered by the fact that the Straw Hats are currently winning the war. This intense and action-packed chapter concludes on this dramatic note, leaving readers in suspense about the outcome of these unfolding events.